Misty's retelling Ashes in the Water. The last lantern is packed tonight. A rare hush falls as Misty sets down her tray and steps lightly into the center of the room, her voice warm as firelight, words soft but steady. She doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't need to. The room leans in on instinct. You ever see a fire that doesn't burn wood? One that eats through stone and swims through water? No? Then let me tell you about the time 5 wanderers, green as spring moss but twice as stubborn, faced down the flames that tried to swallow Clear Run Creek. She pauses, eyes twinkling, as she counts off names on her fingers. Chal, the monk who moves like wind wrapped in a fist. Lamprey, the wizard with more magic than manners. Rift, quiet, sharp-eyed, one of the Aenwyn. Sailra, armored like judgment with a sword to match. And Vishy, her grin turns wicked. That rogue's got hands faster than a lie and a tongue to match. Now they'd picked up a posting, one of the old kind, inked with fear and desperation. A local herbalist, Maris Talon, sent word. Something foul was flowing through Clear Run Creek. Fish boiling in their scales. A child struck dumb just from the water. She didn't ask for heroes, just someone brave enough or broke enough to look. On the road there, they found a cart, broken, smoking, and still rocking on its wheels. Horses mad with rot, foam in their mouths and eyes like boiled eggs. Inside, a family, 4 of them. Mother, father, son, daughter, dead, diseased, and not peacefully. A few patrons mutter. Someone swears under their breath. Now some would turn back then and there, but not these 5. They cut down the beasts, burned the cart, and moved on with the stink of sickness still clinging to their cloaks. But it wasn't over. No, not yet. Later, in a clearing veiled by mist and smoke, Chal climbed a tree, spider quick, and saw the real trail. Smoke. Controlled. A cook fire, maybe, or something worse. They followed, and sure enough, they found the culprits. 3 goblins. Not normal ones. These were walking rot. Filth clinging to their skin, disease thick on their blades. Carriers, not sufferers. The family hadn't stood a chance. Someone spits into the hearth. Vishy and Chal took the lead, and by the time the others caught up, it was blood and blades and quiet death. The goblins died choking on their own poison, and the camp was torched. Still, that wasn't the true sickness. No, the heart of it was deeper, down in the creek where the girl had gone silent. They found her there with her mother, eyes wide, lips parted in a scream that never came. The water stank of smoke, the air shimmered with heat, and the rocks steamed underfoot. That's when they found the hole. Something had dug up into the creek bed, a tunnel like a wound, and from it, fire. Not the kind you light a pipe with, not even the kind you throw from your palms if you've got the training. No, living fire. 2 mephits, shrieking things made of ember and cinder, and behind them, she lowers her voice to almost a whisper, a fire elemental. It rose like a god born wrong, flames leaking through its skin, smoke curling into the lungs of everything nearby. It burned the water. It boiled the air. Sailra was the first to charge in, shield raised, sword glowing. Rift tried to bind the mephits in thorns of frost, but the heat melted them mid-spell. Chal danced between flames, fists like thunder. Lamprey let loose a surge of arcane power that cracked open the creek bed. Vici vanished into the smoke and came out with 2 blades, both red with ash. They almost didn't make it. 3 of them went down, once or twice. Breath gone, bodies scorched, hair smoking. But they didn't quit. They drove the mephits back into their hole. They collapsed the tunnel. They drowned the flame in blood, steel, and willpower. And when the water finally stilled, the girl blinked. A few patrons exhaled like they'd been holding their breath. The silence broke, the creek cooled, and 5 adventurers came back a little more burned, but a whole lot more dangerous. Misty smiles then, slow and proud. She raises a mug, not the usual playful toast, but something solemn. To Chal, Lamprey, Rift, Sailra, and Vici, you left with questions and came back with scars. That's how stories start. That's how legends begin. Welcome home.